And both of you caught my attention. Okay, member for Castry Central.
After Shasley. No. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I can promise my colleague. I can promise my colleague. No, it doesn't matter. That I wouldn't be long, Mr. Speaker.
Take your time.
But you see, when the truth is about to hit you in the face, like a hurricane, not Alan, but a hurricane, you run away to avoid the ravages of the natural calamity. Mr. Speaker, I want to start off by saying, first and foremost, I unequivocally support the motion. I support the motion, Mr. Speaker, for the permanent establishment of the reprieve on sanitary napkins, obviously earmarked for the good people of this country of the feminine gender. Mr. Speaker, when we introduced the zero-rated policy, which was all designed to bring greater reprieve to the people of this country, there was a lot of brouhaha. And what I was really flabbergasted about is that someone who works in the Ministry of Commerce, who should have been well endowed in knowing the difference between zero-rated and VAT-exempt, went on to say that those zero-rated items are already VAT-exempt, implicitly expressing renowned ignorance as the difference in relation to the difference between the two. But Mr. Speaker, my colleague, member for Soufrière, did a fantastic job in explaining what the difference is, and therefore I shall not dwell too long along that path. Oh gosh, it is no wonder she did such a wonderful job, Mr. Speaker. Today is a birthday, and permit me once again to extend birthday greetings to a lady who will in the next general elections resume the representation of Soufrière for Seja. So yes, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion. I listened to the leader of the opposition, Mr. Speaker, and that is where I will ask your permission to depart slightly, because he opened the door. He opened the door. Mr. Speaker, he invites himself to a meeting with the government. I have no difficulty with that, but I am wondering, Mr. Speaker, whether it is that same individual, when he was Prime Minister, who told the opposition members, you had lost the right to speak. I don't know if it's the same one. I don't know if it's the same one, Mr. Speaker, who told civil servants and others, don't tell us how to run government. But today, as soon as, Mr. Speaker, he was relegated to the ranks of opposition, he flew all over the Caribbean, hoping to establish an association of opposition leaders. Today I could tell you the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago don't want to see him. She's now Prime Minister. She doesn't want to see him. The Prime Ministers in the region don't want to see him. So, Mr. Speaker, let me just say that I think it is necessary that I enumerate, at least in part, some of the policy measures that have been rolled out by this government that redound to the benefit not only of women, but of the wide cross-section of citizens of this country, from students upwards. Mr. Speaker, we have had the introduction of the youth economy, a new initiative in the history of governance in this country. We have reintroduced the laptop program. When they were in government, they stopped it. And the phrase they use, Mr. Speaker, using our colloquial language, ki gain ki sa, it's back on the table. And it does not discriminate, Mr. Speaker. For the very first time in history, all students, ALL, irrespective of their race, class, color, creed, or political affiliation, all facilities fees are paid for each and every student in this country. That had never happened before in this country, Mr. Speaker. Then we have CXCs. CXCs. 4 CXCs are being paid for every student writing CXCs in this country, Mr. Speaker. And we don't discriminate. The Belrose doctrine does not find its way surreptitiously into the selection process. As long as you're eligible, you get it. And I remember one time, the member from Swazel Saltibus was saying, let's do it on a meritorious basis, meaning let the poorer ones get it and those who can afford don't get it. That is exactly what they want, for them to discriminate, Mr. Speaker. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, irrespective of a government losing a little revenue at the hands of those that can afford, those that cannot afford are in the majority, and it is better you take care of the majority and be unconcerned about a small benefit to the minority. And that is why when he came in, there was an incentive. There was no VAT on rice, flour, and sugar. And in his estimation, the very handful of hoteliers that occupy the landscape of this country was to the front of his mind, Mr. Speaker, and he had forgotten the 180,000 people in this country, and he reinstituted the VAT on rice, flour, and sugar, Mr. Speaker, much to the detriment of the poorer people. So a lot has been going on, Mr. Speaker. The only government, Mr. Speaker, that has granted housing assistance to the poor and vulnerable, and people like the member from Viewfort North, the member from Miku North, and others have built very, very comfortable homes for those persons who they felt were in destitute and deserved better. They never did anything like that. The sad thing, Mr. Speaker, is that the member for Miku South and leader of the opposition took taxpayers' money, built some structures that have the semblance of huts. They stand on little sticks that are crooked in nature. And Mr. Speaker, the slightest huff and puff can blow those things away. In other words, rather than helping the people, Mr. Speaker, he put them to live in conditions of uncertainty and danger. Then we have, Mr. Speaker, the pensioners. How can this man open his mouth, Mr. Speaker, and say incomes have not gone up? Mr. Speaker, it takes a man without a conscience, knowing exactly what is transpiring in the economic circles of this country, to say that incomes have not gone up. We hear testimonies from pensioners every day. Some people were getting as low as $125 a month, Mr. Speaker. They now enjoy over $500, a 300% increase. But the leader of the opposition will say incomes have not gone up. Mr. Speaker, the security guard from Miku, Denry, or wherever they hail from within our jurisdiction used to work for $600 and $700 a month. Today, we have instituted the minimum wage that have impacted positively on thousands of workers, but he will still say incomes have not gone up. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't know what, it's just a lot of sensationalism, Mr. Speaker, and nothing that can be etched into factuality. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me deal with the lies first. The lies. Mr. Speaker, we had the misfortune. Unfortunately, 2 citizens lost their lives. Mr. Speaker, I promise that on Thursday, I will play a clip where the first incident occurred, where I literally went there and preached to those guys, they should not make their alignment sport. I literally put up, Mr. Speaker, a no loitering sign. One was arrested and was imprisoned, Mr. Speaker. Sadly, the one that was killed right there was one of those who resisted moving. I am on the record. And I remember when they were putting up resistance, it is that very United Workers' Party opposition that said, oh, the guys run after Richard Frederick. That was what they were saying, Mr. Speaker. That is what they were saying. But the evidence is there that I've been trying my best. Mr. Speaker, I can tell you without divulging too much, of persons allegedly involved, one is supposed to be in court on the 15th of September for breaking and entering. And he's a cousin of a potential candidate. That is a fact. That is a fact. He was bailed, I don't know why. Another, Mr. Speaker, is now on bail, having been caught with 2 firearms, was bailed for $90,000. Those are facts, Mr. Speaker. Those are facts. I have been trying my utmost to combat it, Mr. Speaker. And I can say without fear of contradiction that I am one of the only politicians in this country who have had warring factions come together, and I stand in the middle, putting my life on the line in the name of peace, Mr. Speaker. In the name of peace. But you know, you hear them and you listen to them. You hear them and you listen to them, Mr. Speaker. As I told one of them, a potential candidate, if you want peace to prevail in Castries Central, all you have to do is call a family meeting. Once your family agrees to stop the criminal activity, all will be well, Mr. Speaker. So when I hear them, Mr. Speaker, when I hear them, and you look at the slate, Mr. Speaker, but that is for another show, Mr. Speaker. I definitely will deal with that. Now, Mr. Speaker, when you tell me the leader of the opposition will label this Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, as a stranger to the truth, Mr. Speaker, I was flabbergasted, appalled, surprised. Because you see, I don't believe he sees any similarity in his characteristic traits with this Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a stranger to the truth. It is this very man who went to the Middle East and in an effort at being impressive, said that he had embarked upon the construction or the building of 23 islands. 23 islands. The evidence is there. It is that same man, Mr. Speaker. We were in this honorable house when the member for Labrie alluded to the fact that he had said at a meeting of the Summit of the Americas that essentially transparency should be set aside. And my friend from Labrie quoted him verbatim. He denied it, Mr. Speaker, and in less than a minute, the records revealed that the member for Labrie was accurate. It is that same leader of the opposition, Mr. Speaker, who was on a television show and indicated, as Prime Minister then, indicated that gas had gone down in Grenada at less than $10 a gallon. And a couple seconds after, Mr. Speaker, said he had never said it. It is this same man who has been interviewed by a Barbadian journalist, and he was lamenting the state of deportation to St. Lucia. And he overtly said, expressing with total confidence that he knew exactly what he was talking about, that the U.S. had deported 800 deportees right back to St. Lucia. The Barbadian reporter was in awe and asked, 800? He said, yes, 800. Mr. Speaker, not even from the time ICE are doing what they're doing have we had 20 deportees to the country. But he said there was 800. And that is the kind of character, Mr. Speaker, you are dealing with. That is the kind of person. Mr. Speaker, he spoke of Saturday being the bloodiest Saturday in the history of St. Lucia. Mr. Speaker, you know, as a lawyer, I'll tell you what I'm trained in. There is this general perception that lawyers lie. Personally, I've never been in court and tell any lie for anybody. What I don't do is I don't put out facts that can be used against me. There is a fundamental difference between spewing an untruth and withholding something that can be used against you. And if I am asked about what I held, although I'm not asked questions, but if I am asked, I will reveal. But Mr. Speaker, for a man who was Prime Minister, a man who believes in causing sensationalism, a man who believes in fear-mongering, a man who believes in creating anxiety in the electorate so that he can capitalize politically on the fear of our people, he will know that Saturday was not close to our bloodiest day in the history of this country. For there was one weekend, Mr. Speaker, 6 people lose their lives. I'm not celebrating it. One murder is too many. 6 people lose their life, Mr. Speaker. And today, he speaks as though the government is to be blamed. But you know what, Mr. Speaker? That is the very man who prior to the election of 2016, he overtly said on a political platform, Kenny Anthony can't, but I will. And the recordings are there in substantiation. When he got into office, and I'll tell you about when he got into office, the highest spike of crime in this country by almost 100% was when he was Prime Minister. And the records are there. They are there. So before he got into office, Kenny Anthony can't, I will. When he got into office, you must never politicize crime. So now he's out of office, let's politicize it once again. Mr. Speaker, I can provide it and make it a document of the House anytime you are ready. But Mr. Speaker, let me just give you the murder rate in this country from 2015, so that I'm going a year, Mr. Speaker, before he became Prime Minister, so everyone will understand. Murders. I have a chart right here, Mr. Speaker. I can make it a document of the House. When I speak, Mr. Speaker, unless I am in a position to substantiate what I say, I refrain from saying it. In 2015, Mr. Speaker, there were 28 murders. 28. In 2016, the year he took office, there were 30 murders. And most of them occurred in the latter part of 2016. But cumulatively, it had gone up by 2. 2016. In 2017, Mr. Speaker, in 2017, hold on. 1 second, Mr. Speaker, 1 second. I don't want to give you in 2017, Mr. Speaker, it had gone up to 60 from 31 in 2016 to 60, almost doubling. Beg your pardon. I want to ask, in 2017, who was in government, Mr. Speaker? In 2015, it was 28. I want people to hear this, you know. 2017, 2016, I said 30 is 31. And 2017, it had almost doubled, one short of 100% increase, the most increase we have ever seen in murders in this country was under the leader of the opposition now, who was then Prime Minister. we have never had such a gigantic leap by almost 100%, Mr. Speaker. By almost one. And today you want to... Mr. Speaker, he is the Prime Minister that brought us above 50 murders. That was the most in the history of this country. 2017 was the most we ever had. And now, Mr. Speaker, admittedly, we are seeing a slight incremental increase, but nothing compared to 100% leap. Nothing compared to that. So tell them, if my statistics are wrong, go and get the right statistics and print it for the people of this country. So when you talk about crime, give me the statistics. After that, Mr. Speaker, we're hovering between 60 and 75. And in 2021, it went up to 75. We took office on I have not asked, but I will get the month by month to see where we took it, Mr. Speaker. And to date, Mr. Speaker, in 2025, we have had 45 murders. So, Mr. Speaker, when you hear them salivating, when you hear them celebrating, when they say they are not safe, they will postpone their activity from the boulevard. They postponed one, but they had two. Oh, je m'étonne ça. Castries was so unsafe 2 days ago, but today there is protest. And you know, Mr. Speaker, probably had you not been sitting in this chair, the protest they have today, they probably could not have had it. Because after the people of this country voted for this man to become our Prime Minister, what treatment did he mete out to the people? The treatment that was meted out to the people, Mr. Speaker, was barricades. Barricades around Parliament. So when you hear them, the freedom they're enjoying now, the freedom to protest, it is because this government is in office. And yourself and the Prime Minister gave them back that freedom, Mr. Speaker. You all can come as you go, because those are the people who you voted for. It was one that did not exist. And when you talk about crime, and you know, Mr. Speaker, 2017, as a man who reads quite a bit, I am not the former representative of Castries Southeast who just say anything. Not realizing, Mr. Speaker, that period poverty is a global problem. Global problem. Australia, Jamaica, the UK, Canada, the US have all made pronouncements in relation to bringing reprieve to our people. But the same people who say that we disrespect women will ask the Minister of Education whether he wants every child to come and tell him when they have their period. And that was not denounced by the hierarchical structure of the United Workers' Party, implicitly endorsing it, Mr. Speaker. That is it, Mr. Speaker. Disrespect women, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, let me just go down that road a little bit. You know, Mr. Speaker, one expects once you enter the political arena, you will get jobs. You will get jobs. But you see, Mr. Speaker, there is an old saying, you never let the lion sleep. The potential candidate, the one who will be crushed and be placed in a bay by Bebe, came on a platform and the maiden address, Richard Frederick. Maiden address, Mr. Speaker. When I returned the favor and spoke about when Sir John told Minister Rambali, you call me a toothless tiger? Come and I'll show you what a toothless tiger can do. Where was Guy Joseph? Where was the leader of the opposition? They apparently were asleep. They were asleep. When Janine Compton, and I could mention her name, Mr. Speaker, it was part of the news, when she accused the then member from Babuno for sexual assault, where was Guy Joseph? And no one has accused me of that, you know, Mr. Speaker. Because I speak. Because I speak. Because I speak. Because they can talk. They'll have their Sunday lives. Deputy told me it's not Sunday live, it's Sunday lies. They'll have their Sunday lies. And you'll swear, Mr. Speaker, the member for Castries Central is the agenda and policies that the United Workers' Party will roll out to the people of St. Lucia. I tell them, roll me out at their homes if they want. Roll me out, that's the policy. Roll me out. Roll me out. I'm accustomed to that, Mr. Speaker. You know, everything is Richard Frederick. But Richard Frederick, Mr. Speaker, when he speaks, when he says what he had to say, he always pinches a very sensitive nerve. And like I said, when Sir John told Menisa Rambali what he did, Mr. Speaker, I understand. She was young, she was pretty, she was attractive, she's still pretty, you know. She was not married, she had stolen nobody's husband. So basically, Mr. Speaker, she was beaming, Mr. Speaker, with eligibility. But I say something, a passer, which would never ever, you know, qualification can never be met. You're all holding me to ransom for that. You know? Nonsense, and nonsense alone. And I have a revelation to make, Mr. Speaker. I will make it at the appropriate time, because there are pedophiles within the United Workers' Party, Mr. Speaker. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. But I will disclose this information at the right time. Mr. Speaker, you see, everyone must admit I have been under attack. I have been under attack. Every man, including the member for Sozel Saltibus, once they take the mic, they call my name like they're reading from a script. Huh? You can finish me. You sign an agreement and tell the people you didn't know what you signed. Huh? That's all I can say. As a banker, you signed that agreement. You should be charged for treason. That's what you should be. So, Mr. Speaker, and they're the same persons. They are the same persons. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. I have the opportunity now. I said elsewhere that a certain person should make peace with herself. I'll repeat exactly what I said. Peace with other people and peace with God. And not because, my exact words were, not because Alan is paying chemo for you to do his biddings. Those were my words. Those were my exact words that I've repeated here. And so, Mr. Speaker, they have interpreted it at their whims and fancies again. What they do is they attack and they want to find fodder in my responses. And they say, I say, who have cancer, who don't have. And you see, Mr. Speaker, when you see people play on the ignorance of people, that is something else. My first sister died of cancer, and so did my second sister. But, Mr. Speaker, I was asking the individual to make peace. To make peace. And not, I never ever revealed, and I challenge anybody to show me or tell me where I revealed anybody had cancer. Mr. Speaker, for those who don't know better, chemo can be taken for immunity purposes. Chemo can be taken for blood counts. There are several reasons, and I'm sure the member from Viewfort North, who has almost enveloped himself with medical terms and medical diagnosis, can tell you that chemo is not only taken for cancer, Mr. Speaker. And that is why I want you to give the leader of our party a round of applause for bringing a doctor into our midst. That's so, Mr. Speaker, when you hear they talk their rubbish, it is clear that the guys realize that there is no path to victory. None whatsoever. They attack and attack and attack. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. Some people, some journalists, some, very few. It's just like police officers. 99% police officers are good. The greater portion of politicians are good. But in every discipline, in every organization, in every cluster of people associated for one purpose or another, you will find good ones, you'll find a few bad. Very few journalists, Mr. Speaker, not most of them, they take propaganda, they take misinformation, they take disinformation and want it to go into the news, in a surreptitious manner. You are a reporter. Report on facts, not propaganda. And so, Mr. Speaker, some of them, very few again, they operate as though they are delegates, spokespersons, or even proxies of the opposition. You know, proxies. And want to take propaganda to pass it as news, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have been attacked. I know they will continue to attack me. I'm the policy. I'm the main agenda item. But they should know. They should know, Mr. Speaker, what's the inevitable result if you take a coal pot with hot charcoal and put your hands on it. What's the inevitable result? So, and hear this. All men attack me, so they don't say I attack men. Huh? I don't abuse men. But the women who attack me, once I respond, I abuse. Say no mlaka di mwe sayovli. Na weapon yo. Le mwe weapon say mwe abuse. You would swear I hold people, I beat them, I don't understand. I really don't understand. And then talk about disrespecting journalists. Mr. Speaker, that leader of the opposition has the audacity to say somebody disrespect journalists. He forgets Miguel Frederick. He forgets Treasure Lionel. He forgets Janika Simon. Oh, and the list goes on, Mr. Speaker. And the list goes on. Guy Joseph told Miguel February in public, I'm not associated with criminals. In public. And today, I attack journalists. You know, Mr. Speaker, sometimes I browse through Facebook and I see how their own women attacking their women. They attack their own women. There is one, but that particular journalist, Mr. Speaker, used to interview a fraudster called Martinez. And one time, somebody who's now attacking me for that journalist was attacking that journalist because of the member for Castries South. You remember that member for Castries South? A certain individual was attacking that same journalist for my colleague. Today, Mr. Speaker, they do a greasy poll. And they say we might win 4 seats. And then they disclose that, Mr. Speaker, with 2 bottles of champagne. But I will tell them, come that day when the Prime Minister rings this bell, the only set of people that will be drinking champagne are the members and supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party. St. Lucians are not stupid, Mr. Speaker. All patriots, Mr. Speaker. St. Lucians can see. So tell them behave, Mr. Speaker. Tell them behave. St. Lucians know, they can feel, they know that they will not change the government. And like I said, Mr. Speaker, when that day, when the Prime Minister, and I know he's ready. I know he's ready. Okay, I know he's very, very ready. And when you are ready, Mr. Prime Minister, so am I. Because I do know that the people of this country are no longer foolish. No rhetoric, no kind of anxiety, No fair mongering. No this, no that. Oh, Castries is unsafe. You all postponed one incident, but you all had two. It was unsafe day before on Sunday, on Sunday, but it's safe today to have protests. Thanks to you, Mr. Speaker. Thanks to the Prime Minister. So, Mr. Speaker, my Prime Minister, you know, honestly, I am tired of all of this. I believe we have to start afresh. And I exhort you, in the interest of whatever it is, let's put an end to all the noise that they are making out there. Let us do what we have to do. Secure a fresh mandate. Hopefully some of them will run away. They will run it because they already say, if we don't win, we finish. And you know, in another forum, I will show the hypocrisy. One time is, let's get vexed, flog them, burn St. Jude, roadblock, all kind of violent preachings. And on Sunday, and the Bible said, and the Bible said, and the Bible said. But that's another show. Mr. Speaker, I wholeheartedly support the motion, and I want to say, Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased about the performance of this government, and if I had any choice to live with any degree of longevity and to remain within the political arena, rest assured, I will not venture very far from Philip Joseph Pierre, the Prime Minister of this country and the member for Castries East. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.